Hello, I'm David Morgan of the Kansas chapter, and on behalf of the Practice Technology Committee, this is the Tech Tip of the Month. With me today is Shea Stevens of the Shea Stevens Law Firm in Overland Park, Kansas. We again are going to talk about AI and specifically what we call beginner's AI. This is for the attorneys who really don't use it or haven't tried it. We're showing you how to get started. Now, before we do this, I'm going to make an announcement and I'm going to go ahead and share a screen so I can show you part of the AAML website. All right. I think you can see that, can't you, Shay?
Yep, you're good.
All right. This was a webinar by the Practice Technology Committee on AI. It's an excellent way to learn about AI. It was on October 22nd. If you're watching this tech tip, I highly recommend that you go on the AAML website and watch this webinar. It's an hour and a half. It's a great hour and a half for you to learn about AI. Here it is. You can see what it is. There's an overview, shows the speakers right there. And then finally, if you go on the website, you can actually look at their PowerPoints. So this was a great webinar. And if you're interested in AI, go on and spend a good amount of time looking at this. All right. Last month, Shay talked about chat. This month, I'm going to talk about Copilot. And if you don't know about AI, you might say, a Copilot, what's that? Is that somebody in a plane? Well, when you're talking about AI, no, it's not. It's a way to use AI, and I'm going to show you how you get started. First, it involves Microsoft Edge. That's a browser. And if you go to my computer, I hope you can see this, you pull up Microsoft Edge, and there it is. Everybody has this. It costs no money. It's always there. You pull it up and you go to the right-hand top corner. Hope you can see my arrow. It's right there. It's a little ribbon, and that is Copilot. There's no subscription. It doesn't cost you any money. You click on it, and there's a sidebar. Now you got to click on it the right way. There it is. Right there, you can see Copilot. How can I assist? This is what you need to use, and this is where you type in your questions. You can do it in this format, or I like to do it this way. You go up here, this is open link, and there you are. This is how you start up Copilot, and this is how you use it if you don't know how to start it up. All right, what are we going to do today? We're going to do three simple things. We're going to show you how to proofread. We're going to show you a very simple research request, and we're going to show you how to ask about out-of-state law. And we're going to have a little fun with some social media posts. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to proofread. We hate proofreading. The way to do it the best way is send your emails, motions, and briefs through Copilot and let it proofread. And here's how you do it. I sent Shay an email on what we were going to do. You simply copy the email. All right, I got to go back, and I actually had it copied. I thought I already had that done, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now. And there it is. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to pull up chat. I'm going to say right here, all you have to do is type in proof, read, make better. Whoa, see, and mark changes in bold. It's all you have to do. You can send it up. You can then paste your email and send it to Copilot. All right, there we go. And here it is. And here is that email that's been proofread and the changes are in bold. What you can do is go through and see the bolded parts. It bolded everything, but it does just bold the changes. And you can decide what part of your email or motion that you want to change compared to the bold. And it's very simple. All you can do is you can copy this whole thing and you can paste it back in and you're done. And that's how to proofread. All right. Pretty simple, pretty quick. You saw how long it took. Now I'm going to do a very simple research project. Now, what they do is the experts tell you to never rely on this research. You always have to back it up. So if you're sitting at your desk and you want to do a little research without doing anything, all you need to do is send a question. All right, we're back here at Copilot, and here's what we're going to ask it. Please find some Kansas cases on imputing income for child support purposes. And there you go. We're getting Kansas cases. Of course, you can get cases from any state. And here's what I like about doing it this way. We have several cases, but what you can do is all you do is click on the link and it pulls up the case. You go back to chat and you got a second case and it pulls up the case. You go back, here we go. There's another case, Paul. And again, it will pull up every case and you can either print them or save them to your system. And there you have several cases right there. Can you find the Kansas guidelines on imputing income? Now, see, and the reason what I really like about this is you don't have to type everything in perfectly. It can figure out what you're trying to say. And there you go. We have guidelines in Kansas, and there you have the specific section on imputing income. That gets you started. So in a couple minutes, I have 4 or 5 cases, and I have the Kansas child support guidelines where I need to go, and that gets me started with this research. But of course, I agree with the experts. You always have to back it up and make sure every case is correct. Now, the next example I'm going to show you is if you have a case involving out-of-state law. You don't want to take the time. You want to have a quick and easy answer. I had a client, he owned property in Missouri. Do we need a quit claim deed for the property in Missouri? He swore up and down he didn't. I'm wasting my time. And I simply said, fine, I'm going to ask Copilot about if you're in Kansas, if you're in Missouri, do you need a quit claim deed after a divorce? And there's an answer right there. A quit claim deed is necessary. What I really like about this is you can copy this right here. You just copy it. You send it to your client and say, look, we need a quit claim deed. Quit trying to fight this. Let's get it done. He emails me back and says, you're right. Let's go ahead and get it done. And I'm finished with an issue about an out-of-state deed issue. So, all right, those are my 3 examples. shows you how to use Copilot. It's a simple way to get started. I encourage you to do it. So now we're going to shift gears. I'm going to shift this back to Shea, and she is going to do some of the same things in chat, and we're going to see if we get different answers. All right, I'm going to stop sharing, and you take it from here, Shea.
Hi, good morning. Sorry you have to see me again. All right, I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. And as David mentioned, that we're comparing Copilot to Chat GPT. I do have a paid version of Chat. So you can get chat for free, but it's pretty limited. I think maybe 5 searches and it just doesn't bring up much. So if you start out with chat and you're frustrated, it's probably because you need to pay at least the $20 a month for chat. David, is Copilot the version that you're using? Is that free?
It's free from my perspective. Um, we do have a package, a Microsoft 365 package, and maybe we're at a level where Copilot is free. I really haven't researched that, but for me, Copilot is free.
Okay. All right. So that's always a consideration for people, and sometimes you get what you pay for. So, David, are you seeing my screen? All right.
Yes.
Okay. So just like in Copilot, there's a search box, and so I'm doing the exact same search as David did. And what I think is interesting that we're going to see if the same 3 cases or 4 cases pull up. So here we go. And I find that Copilot and Chat um, are about the same speed as to how they work. And you can see that it's telling me what it's doing, tells me what all it's searching. So maybe mine takes a little bit longer.
Now, that's a different case. Brand is a different case.
Okay.
I think I saw Hoffman.
Okay. So as you, so David's just listed his 4 cases kind of simply. What chat has done, and I don't know if this is a chat setting of mine, to be quite honest, if I ask for it to be a certain way, but you can see here that it lists cases, but it gives you like number one, baseline rules and minimum floor. And it lists Hoffman, which I don't think Hoffman was on David's list. And it gives, I feel like, a little bit more of an explanation of the case, but it does also, if I click, it has the link where I can go and click to get that case as well. Um, and it lists number two, a deliberate unemployment case that lists Johnson, which Johnson was listed on
Yeah, and
David's
Paul
list.
Paul was listed, so it's relatively the same. I don't think Brand was listed.
Brand was not listed because it's Brand is more of an S corp case. But if you're looking for that, and then what I also like is it's providing us recent guidance for an unpublished case, kind of explaining how the Kansas child support guidelines changed and what you need to be aware of there. So I feel like my chat version is giving me a little bit more meat and detail than what Copilot
I think I'd
has.
have to agree with that. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead. Show us what you want to do with a social media post. And I think you got this idea after you watched the webinar, which I discussed at the first part of this.
I sure did. Okay. I was very impressed at the thought of doing this. I pay people to do social media, so I was like, oh, this is a neat idea. It's okay. So David, we're going to type create social. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And
you're
as
right.
David showed, you do not have to spell correctly for chat or Copilot to work. So create social media posts for family law attorney for Halloween. All right, let's see what it does. Okay. So this is pretty cute. If I want to do something empathetic and supportive, it gives me some cute um, little ghost here. Divorce and custody issues can feel scary, but you don't have to face them alone. This Halloween, remember, fear fades when you have knowledge and support. That's great. I couldn't have come up with that. Um, Option two, the real monsters, myths about divorce, and then it kind of talks about um, collaborative or mediation, which I do that. So I don't know if it read my website to know that I practice collaborative law. Um, and then there's option three, lighthearted and brand friendly. Um, and then gentle humor. I think this is cute. Till death do us part. Shouldn't mean a lifetime of fear. That's pretty
Yeah.
cute. But all of these, they're giving you the hashtags that you need for your SEO. They're giving you cute little images, and it's simply just a copy and paste. So, and then also it can tailor to a specific platform, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. So really, you could do a whole week's of posts just here in within minutes. So David, let's give it a whirl. Let's see how you can do.
All right.
Let's see
Now,
what
I
Copilot
will
does.
say I'm running short on the amount of time we have for this, for whatever reason. If it does turn me off, I'm going to go ahead. Remaining time 4 minutes. All right.
So David should buy a Zoom subscription.
Well,
Not limited
I
to
think
40
it
minutes.
it connected on our first attempt, if you remember that. If it stops, and we'll see you next month. Okay, create. Is that about the same one?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what it says. I guess that shows that the AI is thinking about it and creating. That's somehow I think I feel in court at times. I think mine's taken a little longer.
I agree, but I do think mine took a little longer on this case search, but it was a little bit more in depth too.
I
So
think it
I don't know.
was.
So maybe yours are going to be pretty awesome here.
Well, this is maybe taking a little longer than I thought.
And this happens.
It does. But usually Copilot and Chat are relatively quick with a response. Maybe this shows that Copilot is more thoughtful than Chat. I heard that laugh. All right, here we go.
Okay, these are definitely longer posts.
Well, there's only one of them
But
though.
it only created one.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, but at least you get something. And the point of it is, I think it gets people who aren't using a lot of AI. It's really simple. Chat or Copilot, put something in and send it to your clients. All you have to do is copy it, paste it, and send it out, and you're done. So, and it motivates you to have more contact and do more social media posting, which will get your name out there in the public a lot more. All right. Well, look, I think that's good. I'm going to stop sharing and I am going to wrap this up and say thanks you again, Shea. This is probably about all we're going to do on beginning AI. Next month, we're going to get into a different area with AI. So thank you again. Great job. And over and out from the Practice Technology Committee.